Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Thanks God that today we meet again in the lecture with the subject interdisciplinary approach in history education. Today we are going to listen the student presentation, and before lecture we started, let we begin by reciting together Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, I would like to give opportunity to Tengku Irfan Tajusoberin to present your topic or your people, please, in 5 to 7 minutes. Time is yours. Okay, Irfan, please. You're talking about?
Langsung mulai, Pak.
Please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang Bapak dosen dan teman-teman sekalian. Bersyukur kepada Allah Subhanahu wa taala dalam kesempatan hari ini dalam mata kuliah pendekatan interdisipliner dan pendidikan sejarah, saya akan mempresentasikan mengenai pengaruh nasionalisme Turki terhadap kejatuhan kesultanan Turki. Menurut Hasan Nasution dalam bukunya yang berjudul Pembaruan dalam Islam dikatakan periodisasi sejarah peradaban Islam terbagi menjadi 3 periode, yakni klasik, pertengahan, dan modern. Adapun kesultanan Turki secara umum merupakan kesultanan ataupun kerajaan Islam yang didirikan oleh Osman bin Ertugrul di Anatolia. Kesultanan ini menjadi kesultanan Islam terbesar dan terlama berkuasa selama 600 tahun lamanya. Nah, selama 6 abad kekuasaan ini, Kesultanan Turki berhasil mengembangkan wilayahnya ke 3 benua, yakni Asia, Afrika, dan Eropa. Kesultanan Turki memang tidak bisa dibandingkan dengan daulah ataupun kesultanan sebelumnya, yakni Umayyad dan Abbasiyah. Tapi melihat kontribusi Kesultanan Turki dalam menyebarkan Islam di tanah Eropa dan juga membendung hegemoni bangsa Barat, patut disiarkan dengan Umayyad dan Abbasiyah sebagai representasi kejayaan umat Islam masa lalu. Nah, berawal dari kabilah Oghuz yang melakukan pengembaraan ke barat, kemudian pendeklarasian kesultanan oleh Osman I, mencapai masa kejayaannya pada masa Sultan Sulaiman I, di mana Kesultanan Turki ini menjadi negara adidaya dan memiliki wilayah yang sangat luas. Namun sepeninggal Sulaiman I, Kesultanan Turki mengalami kemunduran secara perlahan. Kemunduran Kesultanan Turki pada abad ke-17 dan juga serangkaian kekalahan dari bangsa Barat atau bangsa Eropa mendorong para penguasa dan juga kaum intelektual untuk melakukan usaha-usaha pembaruan dengan model baru, khususnya dari bangsa Eropa. Nah, usaha ini dialami karena kemajuan yang dicapai bangsa Barat selepas revolusi industri yang melahirkan teknologi dan sains. Adapun munculnya nasionalisme Turki ini tidak tiba-tiba, tetapi disebabkan oleh beberapa hal. Yang pertama, merosotnya kekuatan Kesultanan Utsmani dalam kancah dunia, dalam perpolitikan dunia. Yang kedua, pengaruh dari revolusi Prancis yang melahirkan semboyan liberté, égalité, dan fraternité. Yang ketiga, munculnya kaum intelektual atau kaum terpelajar yang berpendidikan barat sehingga mengenal paham-paham seperti nasionalisme, liberalisme, demokrasi, dan lain-lain. Dan yang terakhir, faktor yang menyebabkan munculnya Suma di Turki adalah penetrasi dari bangsa Barat terhadap wilayah-wilayah Kesultanan Turki. Nah, dari sini timbul gerakan ataupun kelompok yang ingin melakukan pembaharuan. Yang pertama ada Turki Muda, Utsmani Muda, yang merupakan kelompok yang ingin menyelamatkan Kesultanan Turki, dan mereka juga tidak menentang monarki. Namun pandangannya ini banyak dipengaruhi oleh sekularisme dan juga revolusioner terhadap ajaran Islam itu sendiri. Adapun tokohnya ini adalah Midhat Pasha dan Nami Kemal. Yang kedua ada Turki Muda. Turki Muda merupakan kelompok yang memiliki tujuan untuk menyelamatkan Turki dari keruntuhan dengan mereorganisasi negara secara modern. Kemudian menentang absolutisme, mengembangkan nasionalisme Turki, dan juga mempersatukan Turki ke dalam satu bangsa, satu bahasa, dan satu negara. Nah, puncaknya setelah Kesultanan Turki mengalami kekalahan pada Perang Dunia Pertama, di mana Kesultanan Turki ini menandatangani perjanjian Sevres, sehingga banyak wilayah Turki yang dianeksasi oleh sekutu dan juga pengendalian kekuatan militer Turki oleh sekutu. Nah, melihat hal tersebut muncullah Mustafa Kemal Pasha yang melakukan revolusi nasional dengan melakukan perlawanan terhadap pemukiman damai yang ditetapkan oleh sekutu dan juga perlawanan terhadap Yunani yang melakukan aneksasi dan penetrasi ke Anatolia. Nah, dengan kemenangan Mustafa Kemal terhadap Yunani ini memungkinkan Turki merevisi perjanjian Sevres dengan perjanjian Lausanne. Nah, pada 1921, Mustafa Kemal mendirikan pemerintahan sementara di Ankara. Di tahun berikutnya, Kesultanan Turki berhasil dihapuskan dan pada 1923 berdirilah negara Turki modern. Ya, memang Ano Toynbee pernah mengatakan bahwa Mustafa Kemal ini memimpin rakyat Turki bukan hanya untuk memenangkan perang demi mempertahankan kelangsungan hidup, tetapi juga untuk melakukan westernisasi yang revolusioner guna melanjutkan apa yang telah dirintis oleh Mahmud II. Mustafa Kemal mengeluarkan Islam dari frame nasionalismenya dan mengedepankan Turki sebagai satu bangsa yang lebih condong pada kriteria kebudayaan dan bahasa. Adapun metode yang saya gunakan yaitu metode sejarah, heuristik, kritik sumber, interpretasi, dan historiografi. Adapun rumusan masalahnya, bagaimana pengaruh paham nasionalisme ini terhadap tentunya Kesultanan Turki. Adapun referensi yang saya gunakan, ada buku Ali Muhammad As-Salabi yang judulnya adalah Salipa. Kemudian ada Bangkit dan Runtuhnya Kesultanan Turki. Mungkin cukup sekian yang dapat saya sampaikan. Moga-moga apa yang saya sampaikan ini bermanfaat, dan juga minta maaf karena banyaknya kurang dari apa yang saya sampaikan. Ditunggu komentarnya dari Bapak dosen dan teman-teman sekalian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you very much. Please close or end your screen. Thank you. Okay, I would like to make the comment about the Tengku presentation. I think the topic is very interesting, but unfortunately in presentation, maybe you should remember that this subject is related to the interdisciplinary approach. Okay, so you not only explaining about the based on historical perspective, but should be added by other approach based on the social sciences or humanities. Okay. Firstly, I think you didn't mention about the reference, about the what is a list of reference. Okay, sources. I think it is very important. For example, you said about the Harun Nasution said blah blah blah, but there's what is I don't know, in your PPT you didn't mention in the PowerPoint, okay, including also you said about the Arnold Toynbee books, but unfortunately didn't what is written in your PPT, including you said also Salabi's book. Okay, so please at least 10 sources, book or article in the journal should be used in your full paper later. Okay. Okay, I think if we talk about the emerging the Turkey nationalism and the step down of the Ottoman Empire, we not only talking about or analyzing in historical methods, but should be use other approach, other concept. Example, maybe you can use about the political concept. That in political concept, there is the what we call as the traditional politic and modern politic. For sultan, for king, for example, In traditional politics, king or ruler claim as the representative of God, for example. Okay, Khalifatullah fil ardi. Because of that, the power of the king is very big or concentrate all power to the king, to the sultanate. Meanwhile, in modern political perspective, power should be distributed between the executive, legislative, and judiciary. So in this context, why Ottoman Empire or Ottoman Sultanate become the step down? Maybe one of the factor because the power concentrate in the Sultan. In the one hand, in this context, is Sultan or king, not distributed in the executive, legislative, judiciary, and so on. Modern state in Western country, you said about the French Revolution, Europe country, about the power, there's the distribution of power, not only in one hand, in this case is the Sultanate or the king of Turkey. So please you analyze why there's the emerging of nationalism in one hand, and in other hand, the step down of Sultan of Turkey, maybe one factor is about the concentration of power in one hand. In this case is the king or the Sultan, okay? Because if power just in one hand, there's the authoritarian. There's no democratically. Maybe there's not spirit for the what is political elite, social elite in the Turkey in the time. Okay, so please you analysis about the political approach in this context is a differentiation between the traditional political concept and modern political concept related to the power. Okay, power. And then maybe you can also analyze this based on the economic approach. For example, maybe in that time, Turkey just concentrate in traditional economy. What is a traditional economy? Based on the trade, commerce, taxation, pajak, right? Meanwhile, in Europe, since 19th century and early 20th century, not only based on the agriculture or trade or commerce, but also industrial revolution, you know. Industrial revolution starting in in Britain, and then spread out to the European countries. Because of that, the modern economic system in Europe can defeat the traditional economic system in Turkey, in Ottoman Empire. So you can analyze why Ottoman Empire stepped down, and many European countries label that Ottoman Turkey as the sick man of Europe. Okay, it is meaning that in economically, the Ottoman Turkey was weakness, not strong like in European country in economic matters. Last week, I think Anwar or others said that there's the debtness, banyak hutang, debtness of the Turkey Osmani, because in economy, there's no good in managing based on the modern economic system, just traditional economic system. Okay, that's from economic perspective or economic concept. So Tengku also can use about the sociological or anthropological concept. For example, you know that what is different between kingdom and empire? If kingdom, what is the area, the territory, just based on the homogeneous ethnic, okay? Just one or several ethnic. Meanwhile, empire consists of many ethnic. So in this context, Ottoman Empire is the empire, not kingdom, because the territory from North Africa, Middle East, Central Asia, and Europe. There's many ethnic groups in his territory. And maybe between one ethnic in others, they are not united, just living in separated matters. In this context, maybe ethnic oriented, in which the Turkey ethnic is the dominant in Ottoman Empire, become jealously or not good relation with other ethnic. There are many ethnic in North Africa, Berber, what is maybe Egypt, okay? There are many clan or ethnic in Middle East. Arab also consists of many clan, many ethnic. So by what is ruling based on the Turkey ethnic, it is become the factor, one of the factor post disintegration of Ottoman Empire. And in this context also, the Europe countries, the British, French, Germany, and others can provocate each ethnic to separate it from the Ottoman Empire. You know, the Egypt, for example, approached by Britain, and then Egypt separated from the Ottoman Empire, including also the territory in the North Africa, the what is territory in the Middle East, Iran approached by Britain, Iraq, Syria, and others. So in this context, the concept of ethnic in the traditional political is weakness comparing with the what we call is the nation state based on the modern political concept from the Western countries. So in this context, Irfan can what is entering with the role and position of the young generation led by Kemal Atatürk. So in sociological and anthropological concept, you can analyze the different attitude, different orientation between the old generation and young generation. Mustafa Kemal Atatürk is the symbol or representative of the young generation who want to make the reform, the something new with in the Ottoman Turkey, so that Ottoman Empire become the Ottoman nation state, like the concept in Western countries. Okay. Meanwhile, maybe the Sultan, the king, and the members of bureaucrat as the representative of the old generation. So in this context, maybe Tengku can analyze about the different season in vision and mission and policy, also in orientation between the young generation, what we call as the young Turki muda, right? And the old generation, Turki tua, the old Turk. So in this context, as the concept can also, of course, because the Kemal Atatürk wants Turkey become the nation state, so the territory of the Ottoman Empire become the breakdown, step down from the what is larger territory become the small territory. In this context, is nation state of Turkey since 1924 until currently, until now. Okay, so I think Tengku can analyze this from many perspectives. Okay, why in the Ottoman Empire there's the emerging of spirit of nationalism led by Kemal Atatürk to modernize, to revitalize about the Turkey as nation state, not as empire, as the Ottoman kingdom or Ottoman Empire in the time. And it is the consequence of the nationalism movement that the territory, the political system, the economic system become different with the Ottoman Empire based on political, economic, and other traditional matters. Okay, so I think it is good. Your title is about the how emerging of nationalism in Turkey and how the Turkey finally become the breakdown from the empire become the nation state, you can analyze it from many perspectives. Okay, political concept, economic approach, sociological and anthropological approach, and so on and so forth. Finally, I think in order you understand about the Kemal Atatürk movement as the young Turk, I think you must read about the biography of Kemal Atatürk as the father of Turkey modern. Okay, I think it is very important you use about the autobiography or biography of Kemal Atatürk, maybe other figure in modern Turkey. So it is also important for you to read about many books related to the contemporary or modern Turkey history. Okay. Okay, thank you. I think that is my comment. Please you answer. Okay, you as student of history, you concentrate in historical explanation, but should be analysis based on other social sciences approach. You can what is borrow the political concept, economic concept, and sociological concept and others. In order you can understand why Turkey Ottoman Empire become the step down in last 19th century and in early 20th century, particularly in 1924, Turkey become the modern nation state, replace Ottoman Empire in that time. Okay. Okay, I think that's my what is comment, my suggestion, or also to you, please, in making the poor people, you should analyze it based on many perspective. Okay, not only narratively based on the historical approach, but should be enrichment by other approach. Do you understand? Thank you. Okay. Okay, I think it is enough. We talk about in 20 minutes and more. And okay, we will switch our lecture today from a Zoom meeting to the WhatsApp group. Please, other student giving the suggestion, recommendation to the Tengku presentation. Maybe you have many suggestions and recommendations related to the content, related to the sources, related to the approach and other. Okay. Okay, let's we ending our lecture today by reciting together Hamdalah. Alhamdulillah Firabbil Alamin. Thank you very much. So sorry, it was raining, and there's many guludug. What is guludug in English? Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, we can leave, and we will switch our lecture from Zoom meeting to WhatsApp group. Allow me to leave from this.